Going back in?
There's still men out there. God damn. When I go home, people ask me, "Hey, Hoot, why do you do it, man? Why? Just some kind of war junkie?" I won't say a goddamn word. Why? They won't understand. They won't understand why we do it. They won't understand it's about the men next to you. And that's it. That's all it is. Hey, don't even think about it, all right? I'm better on my own. Hey, we started a whole new week. It's Monday.
Oh, it's funny because like when I was passing by, I saw you by your car, and I saw those two dudes. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I was like, "Hey, bro, are you good?"
Yeah. I heard you say that, and I wasn't even sure. I didn't know who it was until I turned around, and I was like, "Was someone messing with me?" And then I saw it was you in the car, and I was like, "Oh man, they're just checking out my car." But yeah, that was funny. Then when I left, I was like, "Oh, it's like dude from Fremont." Always got my back.
Fuck yeah, man.
Even on the other side of the country.
Goddamn right. I drive by, it's like, man, that's my boy, man. Fucking, we grew up together. Speaking of which, friends, fans, followers, leaders, and true believers, I'm here with...
Aaron Semer.
Oh, good buddy of mine I grew up with. Matter of fact, our dads worked together.
Yeah.
Fucking at the Turd Herders.
Sewage treatment plant, yeah.
Fremont, Ohio. Many moons later, we both moved cross country. I'm up in Seattle now, and where are we right now? What is this place, man?
We are in the Paramount Theater in Seattle, Washington. It's a theater that was built in 1928 for silent film originally. And specifically, we're in kind of like a secret backstage room right now called the Ernestine Anderson Room, where, as part of my job, I host kind of, VIP parties and stuff back here to go along with different shows that we're having. So.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. It's like it's all really set up like classy 70s-esque.
Yeah, we're actually looking at redecorating this room because some of it's kind of fallen apart, as you can see. But old theaters, man, it's like constant work keeping these places up.
So. I bet you a lot of cocaine was done in this room.
Most likely, yeah.
That's how I feel about it. See, it reminds me of the Comedy Store at the back.
Things are so much tamer now in entertainment.
Yeah. No, I was saying back in the 70s.
I've heard some stories around here, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
all
shit.
Cash. Everything used to be all cash back in the day. If you talk to people that have worked here a long time, it's like at the end of the show when they would settle, it was always guns on the table because both the touring musicians and the people working here were all packing. So they have to put the guns out. Because it was all cash, like rock and roll was an all-cash business back in those days. Now it's all formalized. And, I guess there's a lot of hip-hop artists that still do everything cash, though. And I think that's why a lot of them travel armed also.
Yeah.
All the time.
Speaking of cash and gigs and traveling and stuff, I mean, that was one of the things I always thought was cool about you, like, is that you also did a podcast called Wasted Years talking about people on the road, which that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like, you traveled a lot yourself, too, man.
I've done a little bit I've done a lot of traveling. I've only done a little bit of touring myself.
Well, you've been playing for a long time.
But yeah, I mean, especially in the Northwest, I've played around the Northwest a lot of places, Montana, Washington, Oregon. And then I've done the West Coast tour circuit a little bit, too. But yeah, part of like my experience doing that and just playing music, I've been in Seattle for I think 16 years now. I think it's been 16 years. but it's just that, you know, like all my friends and stuff that I played music with and other people I know who play music is like the stories that everybody has from the road, and that's how I got the idea to do that podcast, The Wasted Years. It was like, man, like everybody who's ever gone out on the road has all kinds of
there's always something weird out
stories.
there.
It's like you're totally reliant on other people to put you up for the night, or you know, like it, and of course you're going to end up in weird situations as a result of that. So, yeah.
I always like that old joke. It's just like, what do you call a drummer that just broke up with his girlfriend? Homeless.
Homeless. Yeah.
It's about the same way with a lot of comics too, man. Shit.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of crossover there. I'm sure I could get just as good a stories out of comics on the podcast, but they probably just tell them on stage.
Yeah, that's honestly been like, I know a lot of our therapy is just like going up there and just fucking let it go. But
yeah,
it's amazing hearing some shit from background of some of these cats too, man. But what made you pick Seattle out of all the places?
Really, so when I was 21, I dropped out of college at Ohio University, and I was kind of back in Fremont for a while, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And a buddy of mine just graduated from college in OU, and he bought a van, like a Toyota camper van that had a bed in the back, and he just showed up out of the blue at my parents' house and was like, "If you want to go with me, I'm taking off. Like, I'm just going to go as long as I can make it work." So I quit my job at Super Kmart, where I was working at the time, and hopped in a van with him, Travis, and we just took off, and we just kind of got in adventures and drove around the country. And eventually, when I got out to Seattle, some good friends of my parents were living out here, and they told me that if I wanted to do, because I was studying audio production at the time in Ohio, so they told me if I wanted to do an internship at a studio, I could stay with them. And I'd been looking at maybe going to like New York or Chicago, and Seattle was in the running too, but kind of that like just having a place to stay was a big part of what was like, I guess I'll do Seattle. So then I started going around to as many studios as I could find in Seattle and just dropping resumes. And this was 1999. So it was like kind of, I mean, internet existed, but shit wasn't on the internet. Like I had to actually like show up places and like, give them my resume, you know. And in the process of doing that, just hanging out in Seattle for a couple of weeks, I really fell in love with the place too.
I can totally see why, man. I drove here from Salt Lake City, and it just, that whole fucking driving east to west, you know, it's amazing. You know, that I can see why this would be a place nobody would want to leave. And
I'd never been to the Northwest prior to that either, and like just the natural beauty. I mean, I went out and did some camping trips in the rainforest and the Olympic Mountains and the Cascades, and went up to Mount Rainier, and like I was just really like, the fact that you could live in a city and have such easy access to all of that stuff was like really different from the Midwest. Just to have all of that.
Where we grew up,
open land around.
Yeah, you'd have to drive through cornfields for a half hour, 45 minutes to get to a flat city, you know, and then that was
Yeah, and it's all fields, which is I never appreciated growing up. Now I actually do. Like when I go back there, I can like appreciate the beauty of Ohio too. You know, like that flat land with all the beauty, the cornfields and like the blue skies is really nice. But yeah, I see just being around the mountains and the forest and national forest and all that stuff was such a different experience. So yeah. Anyway, I've been here. I got an internship at a really cool recording studio, and I've just been here ever since. But that was kind of my initial, introduction to the music and entertainment world in Seattle was through working at a place called Bear Creek Recording Studio.
Oh, cool, man.
And they had recorded, that's where Soundgarden recorded Bad Motorfinger there. And that was like one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
So when I got to work there, I was like, fuck yes. And it's like, this is where Bad Motorfinger was done, you know?
That has to be, I mean, I totally understand that feeling. Like, I've done, like, I've told jokes in the original room at the Comedy Store, and I'm on that stage. And I'm sure as a musician, you probably felt the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, dude, this is where fucking Kinnison and Pryor and all these other guys stood right the fuck here. You know, and did what I'm doing right now, and that has to be an amazing feeling, man.
Yeah, well, now I get to work in the theaters where
so cool.
We have the company I work for. This is one of our theaters, but we have two more, and all those bands played all these theaters. All the big Seattle bands played these places, and even going back further back before grunge. I mean, all the stuff that was around here, and the Sonics and the Wailers, and I don't think Jimmy really played Seattle much. He kind of
came here, and then
he's from here, but and then, I'm sure he played here a little. But he didn't really get known until he left.
Europe.
He left here, Europe.
Yeah, like Europe's what made him big, and then
California.
Yeah, and then like a lot of people were telling him or telling Clapton that you got a rival basically, you know, and then next thing you know, then they become homies.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool. But yeah, man, speaking of that album, I listened to it a lot, man. That Soundgarden album, especially Rusty Cage, like that song means a lot to me because every time I go through some bad shit in my life, I've listened to that really fucking loud.
Break the Rusty Cage.
Sometimes I'm crying and pounding on my steering wheel like, fuck my life, break my Rusty Cage and run. And
Bad Motorfinger's still that's my favorite album to come out of that era, for
really?
Sure. I mean,
that's
of
awesome.
all the Seattle bands, I think it's got to be Bad Motorfinger. I love that album.
Yeah, it was like a buddy of mine, Travis Carl, and I, we went and saw 9 Inch Nails with Soundgarden about last summer, and it was just like, what the fuck year is this?
Yeah, I remember when they did that tour.
That was cool, man.
Before Soundgarden did any of their big reunion shows, they played a reunion show in Seattle at this pretty small club here called the Showbox.
Nice.
It only holds, 800 or 900 people probably, and I got to see that show. And they were playing under a different name. They were playing under Nude Dragons, which is a swap around of the letters in Soundgarden.
That's awesome.
So it was, everybody knew about it here, but it wasn't like an advertised thing. And I got to see it. So I got to see them in a small club, and it was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. Yeah, that was so cool. And they've played here, the theater we're in now, since then, and then they've done all the big the bigger shows at the festivals. But Soundgarden in a small club was.
Oh, I bet, man.
That's what I always wished I had got to see when I was 13 and never got to. So.
No, that's what's cool. That's one thing, and it might sound shitty because I sound selfish saying this, but that's one of the reasons why I love Clutch so much is because they didn't fucking explode, and you can still see them in smaller venues like that.
And Clutch is one of the best live bands.
Yes. Like Neil Fallon just on stage, it just dominates.
You're watching them in a club with 1,000 people.
Yes, so. Occasionally there'll be some Sounds of the Underground tour or something big, where you'll see them at a big venue, but for the most part, you're at Howard's or Harpo's or something like that, and it's pretty cool, man.
Yep.
Now you said there's two other theaters, I thought was pretty cool. What's the significance of a couple of the other ones?
Well, the second largest theater we have is called the Moore. That theater's from 1908. It's actually an old vaudeville theater. It was built before.
Oh, cool.
They had any sort of amplification, so the theater is actually built to be perfectly acoustic. So you can stand on stage and talk, and people can hear you in the back of the theater.
What's this one called?
The Moore.
The Moore.
Moore.
Wow, I would imagine doing a comedy show in that fucking place then.
They do a lot of comedy there. Yeah. The first time I ever saw Louis C.K. was at the Moore.
Really?
Yeah. And I've seen Aziz Ansari there. I don't know, a lot of comedians come through there. But they give them a mic now.
But still, you don't have to worry about a lot of time. There's a lot of tuning that goes into just a fucking voice sometimes, or it's too much, So that's awesome.
And then the Moore was probably the most important theater in Seattle during the grunge heyday. After grunge blew up, because it was kind of, the way I understand it, it was kind of seen as a stepping stone where once you made it to the Moore, then you were in the big time. So, all those bands, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana played shows at the Moore, and then Pearl Jam's, the video for Alive was filmed there, where Eddie Vedder's hanging from the balcony.
Yeah.
That's all at the Moore Theater. So, I remember when I first walked into that place, and I was like, this is the video from Alive. You can just see it. You can see the balcony that he went out on and hung off of and jumped off of. So
yeah, that's that's big nostalgia for me. I remember in junior high when I was listening to that, and I was just so fucking stoked. I'm like, this is something totally new, because I was so really into classic rock and roll and metal. Those are the two things, and then that just punched you in the face, the whole grunge thing. Yeah. And I think stumbling onto I was texting back and forth, stumbling onto 89X. out of all things, that out of Windsor, Ontario, or Detroit, Michigan, whichever the place you want to talk about.
Canadian there. I mean, when I first started listening to it, it was a Canadian station. Yeah.
And it was cool because like it was like right when Rage put out Killing the Name.
Yeah.
And then like I'm listening to the radio and it's about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and on the radio you're in, fuck you can't do it, or fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And I'm like, this is the radio. This is awesome. Yeah. And then I realized it was, okay, their tower's in Windsor. That's why they can get away with this shit.
Yeah, it was I feel really lucky that we lived close enough to pick up Canadian radio.
Yes.
Because there was no good radio in I didn't know of any good radio in Ohio or Michigan at that time. And so 89X. I remember, did you listen to it I remember listening to it maybe a couple years before alternative broke nationwide.
I got back to Fremont, I'd say, I think in 92, 93 time frame. That's when I was stumbling onto it then. Because I was in a lot of cool shit in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They had a lot of really good underground clubs that you go to all ages. And you can see all kinds of cool stuff. Cool. And then I went from there to Fremont. My mom threw me out. And then I went to go live with my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad, he's just a fucking still an old hippie,
Yeah.
Shit. My dad probably more than anybody in Fremont because I just worked together.
Yeah.
But anyways, so when I got there, I was just always trying to find music because that was my biggest thing. But yeah, man, stumbling onto 89X, that was a gem,
Yeah, I remember hearing, definitely first hearing about 9 Inch Nails through them, the first album, Pretty Hate Machine.
Mm.
And there were a bunch of, earlier alternative bands before, Nirvana happened that I remember listening to on there a lot, this band called the Soup Dragons.
Yeah, I remember the Soup Dragons, yeah.
And The Church. It was kind of Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Yeah.
There was, kind of lighter alternative stuff before grunge hit that was, getting a lot of airplay on that, on the Canadian station anyway.
What was it? Make a Little Birdhouse in Your Soul. Who the fuck did that song?
Oh, yeah. That's, dude, why am I blanking on their name?
I can't remember, but there's all those, they're happier, they weren't angry grunge or heavy grunge.
Yeah, it was happy alternative.
It was happy, music, happy alternative music.
Oh, man, I'm bummed I can't. I even watched a documentary on that band.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but, matter of fact, I remember, slapping 9 Inch Nail stickers and all kinds of shit on my receiver. And I would end up listening to more radio than I would CDs that I was buying all the time, just because it was that good. And you're always there's always something new. I mean, and then they would actually play some really good alternative, and then they'd play some Leonard Cohen and all kinds of Tom Waitsy type shit. And it was just wow, this is pretty dope.
Yeah. That station ended up getting kind of crappy eventually, though.
Oh, it
got
turned
really
into
commercial.
A fucking Kiss FM type station for a little bit, and then I think they tried to get back to their roots, but they just couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, I think they were doing I don't know. Also, a lot of that so-called alternative music got really crappy too, so it wasn't all the radio station's fault. But they started playing a lot of bands that I just couldn't get into, Bush and stuff.
No.
The stuff that came later.
I did a bit a while ago. I forget how it went, but the punchline basically was, I've been listening to this Glycerine thing forever, and I don't know what the fuck it is, but I know not to let the days go by. What the fuck is this? That was a bit about shitty music that we listen to that at every place you go. I mean, I'm not trying to do the bit, but I'm telling you, every place you go, it's the same fucking 12 butt rock bands and a couple Guns N' Roses songs, and it's why are we listening to this shit? But for some reason, somebody really liked it. It was in a beer commercial somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times around drinking that beer. Shitty piss beer.
I'll stand by Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction all the way, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Shitty bands and then Guns N' Roses.
And Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
They were a whole other level.
That was
and
right.
Jane's Addiction. They were one of the bands from that era that was amazing too.
Jane's is still one of the bands that I will throw on Ritual forever, man.
Oh yeah.
And then
and Ritual, and then I'll listen to Appetite for Destruction. Whatever.
Yeah, man.
And the first Jane's album too. It's awesome.
Nothing Shocking.
Nothing
No,
Shocking.
the one before that.
Well, I was thinking of Nothing Shocking. That's right. There's
that because he had that live one that was really cool where they did. They did that fucking Lou Reed rock and roll. They redid rock and roll on that, and they did that Stone song on there too. I forget. Street Fighter Man, maybe? I forget, man. It's been a minute. But since I heard that album, Now as soon as I leave here, I'm going to be fucking pawing through my shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good album, man.
Yeah.
Good time. Yeah. I guess they went on tour with Nine Inch. I just found this out. I must have been deployed, or I don't know what the fuck was going on. But I guess they went on tour with 9 Inch Nails, and the tour was called Ninja. It was a Ninja tour. 9 Inch Nails, Jane's Addiction.
I don't know about that either. I missed that.
Yeah, I'm like, what? My buddy of mine was telling me about that. I'm like, get the fuck out, because I was telling him about the Soundgarden 9 Inch Nails. I was so stoked to see that.
Yeah.
Speaking about your parents, man, I always thought it was cool, and I like when I'd be deployed, the only way, like I was 19, 20 years old. My first deployment, I was 19 years old when I first time I like flew off the continental America, North America, that is. I went to Japan, and the only way I could get a hold of my dad, because he was busy with the book, writing a book, the Mudhead Memories, and he had this weird fucking streak where he would not miss a ball game for like, I don't know, he went to like 1 million games or some weird shit.
Yeah.
And so the only time I knew I'd ever get a hold of him, because night's day there, was if I called, and it's usually on the weekend, and he'd be operating a lot of time, or so I would call there, and then just like if I was homesick, whatever, and be like, hey, what's up? And then sometimes your dad would be like doing the same hours as my dad would be. And I talked to Scott for like maybe 20 minutes to a half hour. Yeah. So that was always funny. He'd give me updates on you too.
Night shift at the shit plant.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was probably like in college at OU at that time, or I might have recently come out to Seattle when you were calling.
Yeah, your dad learned how to juggle there or some shit.
My dad taught himself how to be a clown at the sewage treatment plant, yeah. He, I think it was around when he turned 40, he decided he wanted to be a clown, because he always wanted to do it, yeah. And it's like something he always wanted to do, and he never did, so it was like instead of like buying a fancy car, he decided to start learning how to be a clown. He bought a unicycle.
Yeah, I was just about picturing him on a unicycle juggling.
Juggling pins, he bought machetes.
Get the fuck out.
He used to juggle machetes. And then he started doing birthday parties, and he started doing parades around Fremont. And then he had his duck puppet. I don't know if you ever saw his act, but it was called Scooter and Quackers. So he was Scooter, because his name's Scott, and then he had a duck puppet named Quackers. And then they would have a little back and forth. It was ridiculous.
And now he only has 3 fingers. No, I'm just kidding. We call him Stubby. Oh, shit. No, Scott's good people, man. Yeah, it was funny because we did this show in Fremont not too long ago. Actually, what was it? Let me rephrase that. It was too long ago. It was like 2 years now. It seems like yesterday. And my buddy Adam Dodd asked your dad to play his dad for a minute. And then as we were leaving, or as he was leaving, they went back and forth for a couple minutes. And it's a song about how he hates his dad. He's like, and there he is right there. He helped raise me. Fuck you, you asshole. And then some weird shit. But it was hilarious, man. That's a shameless plug for Adam
My dad
Dodd.
played along.
Yeah, and Scott Semer.
That's funny.
So, like, where did cause you've been in bands, you've been around, you're working here in a theater doing some cool shit. What started like getting you into all this? I mean, where did it like all start?
Fremont, Ohio, of course.
Well, yeah, of course, F Town.
Yeah,
but do you think it was a coffee shop?
Well, a little before that, I was doing stuff. So I mean, a big part of it was I had 2 older cousins who played music. I don't know if you knew Sean Heinlein and his brother Eric Heinlein. But
I know those names. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Sean was like 3 or 4 years older than me, so he was like, I totally looked up to that guy, and he started playing in bands. And,
what bands was he in back then?
His band was called Peace of Mind, but spelled like a P, like a chunk, like P-I-E-C-E, Peace of Mind. Yeah. And then, man, I think they had some other names too that I'm blanking on, but and then so another guy in the band with him was Matt Krylik, and Matt Krylik's family lived on a farm outside of Fremont, and they had a barn. Yeah. And they built a stage in it. Yeah. So that was like, they had a place. It was like, there weren't all ages music clubs or anything in Fremont. So it was like, I knew these guys who had a band and they had a place to play. And so then I got a guitar, and my cousin taught me some stuff.
Oh,
and
cool.
then I got a band together with some other friends, Ike, Eric Eisman, Jim Slater. We started playing music on the barn stage too back then, and then so then my cousin Sean and I, we had this grand. I don't know if you were at the first Athlo Feroso, like the big we did a big outdoor music concert at the Krylix barn.
No, I don't.
But basically, our idea was like, we know there's other bands around, but nobody has anywhere to play.
Right.
So let's do like a Lollapalooza, and we literally called it Athlo Feroso. It was like such a blatant, teenager ripoff of Lollapalooza. But it was like, let's just do an all-day music festival.
Well, nobody understood copyrights back then. We're cool.
No, it's fine. So we went around to like any music stores we could find in the region. Went to like Sandusky, Tiffin, Fremont, and put up posters that were like bands wanted all-day music festival. I was like 16 and my cousin was like 18.
Right.
And suddenly, like, our phones were ringing off the fucking hook. Like, we had no idea like how many bands were out there that didn't have anywhere to play, And it's like we suddenly became these like, we were like the guys who were like picking what bands were going to play the show. It was weird. We were like in this weird position to like we were going to all these bands. Nobody recorded anything back then either, So we had to go to their houses and listen to them play.
Oh, that's cool.
And we put together this big music thing, which is, and then that's where I had a second band, Lethargic Id.
That was
And we played our first show at that thing, and people kind of went crazy for it because I think we were like the first like alternative band in that area.
Yeah, and
everyone
you
else
guys were
like,
fucking awesome, man.
Thanks,
I mean,
man.
it's I mean, even this many years later, I was blown away because really, you guys had your own sound. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. So like there was that. Oh, and then there was the Mike and Wade show, Mike Scott and Wade Ballard.
Yeah.
They played there too, and
Scott was the lead singer from Lethargic Id.
Not yet. He joined the band after that show because that was our first show, and he was like, "I want to sing for you guys." After that, so
who was it originally then?
Well, it was Mike Gassner who played bass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, but I feel like I think like coming out of that performance was when I realized that. I mean, the other bands I liked playing with those guys, but I was definitely way more into what I was doing with Lethargic Id and going in that direction. And then sometime right around that time, Uptown Coffee Shop started letting teen bands play there, and it just became like it suddenly just blew up into this. That was a little scene where all the bands from the towns nearby were coming there to play, and I was making new friends from like people that lived in other towns, and suddenly we had this like group of like musicians and weirdos that like could all hang out together and shit, that didn't really exist before. So
it's sad because nothing like that exists there now. You know what I mean?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's no like real centralized place for people from like we're talking about a city in the middle of like Ohio that's like central. I guess the easiest way to describe it is central to Detroit, Cleveland, and Columbus. Pretty much about the same distance to each one. Yeah. And the cool thing is like when you're influenced by other bands that we are, you could have a chance to see them 2 or 3 times within a week. If you really dug a band, you could go see them in Cleveland, Columbus, and Detroit. I've done that several times, and I'll definitely say with Clutch, obviously, but and other things. And it's really cool because there's and in the Midwest, I think you get a little bit more of an appreciation for bands and stuff than you do in a lot of other places. I mean, because you see them in LA all the time. They're always there, whereas when they come to your town or close to your town, it's a fucking event. Yeah. People won't go across town to see an act because they can see them anytime in LA,
Sure.
But whereas you'll travel fucking 3 to 4 hours to see one of your favorite bands in Michigan or in Ohio, if you're living in Michigan or Ohio, and I always thought that was pretty cool.
It's true. I mean, like any given night in Seattle, or at least 3 to 4 nights a week, like there's amazing shows happening here, and you do get a little desensitized to it over time, I think.
And that's what had to been really cool. Is like with the coffee shop and with your Lollapalooza version.
Yeah.
Like with all that, like there's no real outlets with that being that far. There's no outlets to actually be like, hey, I want to do an open mic somewhere as a comic, or hey, I want to do an open mic as a musician, or anything like that. And that was one of the really cool focal points. Was small little thing, thanks to Bill Franks. A small little outlet in Fremont, the coffee shop.
Dude, like, my band could play the coffee shop on a Friday night and pack it out.
Yeah.
With kids. And, I mean, we were all, I was kids too, but, like, it was a pretty formative experience for me, for sure. Like, because it felt like we made that happen ourselves.
Yeah.
And, I don't mean just my band.
No,
all
it was a community working together, and that was...
And it was like suddenly we had something to do every weekend. And if you weren't playing, you were there to check out the other bands that were playing.
And I don't know how many... I worked there for a while, too, and I don't know how many times where I would... I don't know, I'm just saying names. I don't know fucking who, but, I would run into you, or I'd run into Sam Potts, or, fucking Casey Van Sickle, or one of these, guys that, were... For our local area, we're huge in the music scene, and I'd be like, hey, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so? Here, this is Tony Lowe. Do you know fucking, do you know Mike Scott? Obviously they do. But, I'm just shit like that, and it always was really cool being able to build those kind of friendships, It
was great, man, because it also broadened my... I had good friends in Fremont, but I also felt like, there was a small group of people that I felt really connected to in Fremont. Yeah. And that broadened my friend circle a lot, too, because people were coming in from other towns nearby.
And you kind of, I'm not saying it, you kind of go through the pool of people with the same common interest in our little high school.
There wasn't happens in a small town.
Yeah, there wasn't like a whole lot of people. What did we graduate with?
300 or something.
Yeah, 300, something like that, which,
It's a decent size. It was big enough. I will say I appreciate about Fremont, like, the more, I meet more people... throughout my life, I meet people that just fucking hated high school, and they just go on and on about how horrible their high school experience was, and how it was cliquey, and, like, nobody got along, and, like, man, I feel like I didn't encounter too much of that in Fremont. Like, people had their groups that they hung out with, but, like, no.
There was no, like outsider socias and jocks type bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, if you were a jock, it was like,
you're cool,
you're a jock,
man.
whatever.
Yeah. We always ended up at the same parties. It was so weird.
If you're a musician, then whatever, you're a musician. Like, there were certainly people I didn't like and people I liked, but it wasn't like I was an utter social outcast because I didn't play sports and I played a guitar or something. It's just... No,
it'd be funny because you'd end up like at I always end up at TJ's Woods somehow. The Oshesky Woods or some weird shit, or the Poulter's Barn,
TJ's Woods,
something like that. And
it's funny how rural it sounds when you talk about it now. It's like, we did a lot of hanging out and partying in woods and barns.
Shit. Yeah. Oh man, that was good times, man. And no, I totally agree. Like a lot of times, I think. That there's that Tom Waits song, I forget what it is, but you never seen your hometown until you stayed away too long, and that's like been my life, because I fucking hated Fremont when I left, and now I look back, I'm like, I fucking love this town. Like, I went through some serious shit, man. When my wife left me and stuff, it was like the first people to reach out were from Fremont, my homies from there, and then, comics, obviously, and then the Funny Bone put me up, and so I was bouncing between Ohio and I was actually starting to do work at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach, which that's like same Funny Bone and Improv are the same thing as like Checkers and Rallies, depending on what geographical area you are for fast food, and then so I was going home a lot. Basically, Aaron Oshesky and TJ, they'd let me stay at their place a lot, and then I started getting some work in Detroit. So I go up there and I'd do a little bit of shit there, and then and I could always like stay back in Fremont, and then Depot was treating me gold, and so did Van Ness's Time Out. Matter of fact, he's probably the one in Fremont that's actually listening to our podcast right now. Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dean. I'm going to see you in August, dude. I'm actually going to play there, I think, in August. My brother has been booking shows there, and I think I'm going to play.
You better fucking book, yeah?
I played at Van Ness's last Christmas time, too.
Oh, cool,
I played a show there. But they're doing cool music there now. But that place is... I love that bar. I love the Depot, too, but, like...
Yeah, man.
Van Ness's is, like, a place I like to definitely like to hang out when I'm back in Fremont.
You know, the coolest thing about Van Ness is before anybody else put my fucking before anybody else put my my headshot up, first place, man.
Oh, you got a headshot on the wall?
First place is Van Ness.
Gotta get mine up there. My grandma's got a...
Get Aaron's up there. What the fuck, Dean? Let's do it. All right?
My grandma's on the wall in there because, you know, she was a world record holder in the marathon.
No, I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome.
My grandma Y. She's still kicking. She's still in Fremont. But yeah, there's a picture of her up on the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Yeah, it's like this. You walk through there. That's definitely Fremont nostalgia walking through there.
Yeah.
And then I did this thing for the Winter Classic. So I gave him some other things. I guess he stapled up one of the scarves. One of the hockey. It's a hockey.
Oh,
thing.
nice.
Yeah, he stapled up one of the scarves in there. But that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually thought it was all sports people up in there. I didn't know he was branching out.
Yeah, he branched out. He put some ugly ass comic up there.
Comedians on the wall.
I'm wearing a Tigers jersey, so so maybe I can get away. I'm holding a microphone wearing a Tigers jersey. Yeah, man. Jeez. Good times, man. Yeah, you know, and I think the cool thing is, like, I mean, people say a lot of racial shit, and you hear all that stuff now. But I think with where we grew up, it really didn't matter who the fuck you were. I mean, we were all socially awkward to the point where we just were cool with each other's whatever you were, because you know, you'd be at a party or you'd be somewhere else, and here's Charles Woodson, of all people, that's showing up there, who's now playing for the Raiders, ended up becoming a Heisman Trophy winner, in the same place as, you know, somebody that picks strawberries, you know, and then lives a farm that owns strawberries, you know, and then as two guys that their dad works at a ship plant, you know, or whatever. Yeah,
I never really felt any weird kind of class issues in Fremont. I think there were, like, maybe some racial issues, like minor shit, but overall, yeah, it's people just...
I honestly think a lot of the racial issues were just people ran out of shit to say, so you just go to that. Like, I'm not racist either, but when I'm in traffic, boy, I'm glad my windows are up. No, I'm just kidding.
No, people, there definitely heard some opinions like that floating around there.
Yeah. Shit, man. Good old Fremont, Ohio.
What else?
Good call. What I do, I'll go like that, and then that's how I know when it has the vibrations, because I use... that's how I know, like, with that big vibration spike.
Oh, to go cut.
Yeah, so I know I can edit it. Usually I don't edit them. I might just leave this in here. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Oh, man, I edited mine, but that's part of why I don't do podcasts anymore, because, like, I would go in and edit, and it was, like, such a pain in the ass cutting all that, you know. Editing dialogue is not a fun. You know, the one I have to edit the most is hockey players, because, you know, when you talk to them, you know, and you know, not big talkers.
No, they're great talkers, but they say and all the time. And, yeah. Fuck. Yeah, there was something else I forget what the hell it was. I don't know. Fuck. Anything you want to plug, man?
Plug?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can plug some stuff.
For a second. So, is there anything you want to plug or anything like that?
I'll tell you about some music that I'm working on. I play in a band currently called Marmot vs. Mammoth, and you were just hanging out with two members of that band last night in Seattle.
Yeah. Fucking the Jinkum Scare of 2007. Dude.
Yeah, we got a song called the Jinkum Scare of 2007.
I love you guys already. I never heard it.
Those are two guys I know from college and Ohio University, actually. They're Ohio guys, too. And then I moved out here, and they subsequently moved out like 2 and 3 years later. And we've been making music in Seattle for a long time. So Marmot vs. Mammoth just released our debut full-length album. And it's all on vinyl, just vinyl and MP3, but the vinyl is all kind of handmade packaging that we
it was pretty
we
cool.
wanted it to be like a special thing, because nobody really gives a shit about physical product around music anymore, so it's like you might as well make it special and, you know, handmade and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool album, man. I was looking at it yesterday, I remember when CDs first came out, they had the cool cardboard box.
The box,
That was awesome.
The tall box.
And then they're like, we're going to get rid of the cardboard big-ass box. And then it's just like, oh, great, fuck you guys.
Well, I never saved the box, though. You know,
yeah.
I was like, I always threw that away, I think.
I'll be honest and say that I cut a lot of that shit out and put it on my wall. So that way I had cool, like, posters and wallpaper type bullshit in my room.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's what I do. My entire wall was just completely covered with, like, albums and old album covers. Like, say if there's a copy of, like, the Led Zeppelin 2 that was haggard, throw the fucking record away because it's all scratched and shit.
Yeah.
And then, there you go. You got that up on the wall now.
Yeah. So Marmot vs. Mammoth, you can buy the album marmotvsmammoth.bandcamp.com or through the label that put it out, Heathen Call Records. It's our singer's label.
Oh, cool.
And then I just finished recording a solo album, also just me. And another guitarist plays on it too, but it's all original songs I wrote. Very acoustic based. It's not like a full band. It's just me and another guy, acoustic guitars. And I don't know when that's going to be out, but soon.
But didn't you get picked up by somebody?
I'm working. I don't want to talk about that yet.
All right, it's not talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
It's going to be on a local label, and I still have to work out all the details there. So I don't know when that album's going to be out, but yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
But I can give you. I might give you a song or two if you want to
please do.
Put it on here.
Yeah, I will.
Stuff. Yeah,
that's one of the things I like doing is I like to put, like on the end of here, it's a FOB radio, like FOB, which is like forward. It's basically a military thing. You know, it's a base that's in the forward, right?
Oh, okay.
But what a lot of people don't realize, FOB really means fucking O'Brien.
Fucking O'Brien.
Fucking O'Brien in his radio. That's what it is. Because I don't know how many times I've heard fucking O'Brien over the years. Because I've always played pranks on people or did something. Or I just get under people's skin that I didn't like because I can't punch them in the face. So I'll just annoy the fuck out of them. Fucking O'Brien. So yeah, FOB radio is really fucking O'Brien. That's surprise, guys.
You heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. But hey, also, do you have a Twitter? Do you have any Facebook? Anything you'd like to put out there for people to follow? Any of that shit?
You know, I'm just on Facebook as Aaron Semer, and I'm on Instagram as Aaron Semer. It's at Aaron Semer. Marmot vs. Mammoth is on Facebook. If you just search for Marmot vs. Mammoth, we're the only one. So.
Okay. Yeah, right.
And then we're on Bandcamp, like I said, or Heathen Call is the record label, so you can find us all in those places. Yeah.
Cool. And I'm still at Josh, JOSH96OBRIN, Josh96 O'Brien. That's Twitter, Instagram. Join Joshua's comedy show on it's a Facebook group. And thanks for stumbling on and tuning in and checking out the show. And I don't know what the fuck else to say.
Sometime on a Midwestern skyline where relentless horizons send minds wandering down coast and skyways to highways and byways, your ways and my ways. We've traveled these paths before. Like gods and chariots to predestined futures and pass like circles. The parallel lines of wires, like maps across blue skies, drawing a straight line between 2 points, like a guide. Generations have lived and died here, but we'll be the first to leave here. If only we can sever the ties that bind. We stand like monuments and headstones, bloodlines mixed with bones and pass like circles. to die long before their time. The cause is lost, families torn, and bodies sent home to mourn. Down coast and skyways, to highways and byways, your ways and my ways, we've traveled these paths before. We ride like gods in chariots to predestined futures and pass like circles. We stand like monuments and headstones, bloodlines mixed with bones, and pass like circles, and pass like circles. Sick of all you people afraid to live in love because you might be called a sinner, acting as if life is a game. Play right and you'll be crowned a winner. I wish that you would focus on good deeds instead of living in fear of hell. Oh, Lord is the King of Israel. Job would be ashamed to hear you complain that nothing good is on TV. Jacob would rather see you wrestle with God than worry about your security. Bathsheba would tell you to make love like it was your last day on earth. And David would tell you to take out all the giants before you end up in a hearse. Moses didn't come down from the mountain to teach you how to pan for gold. And Elijah didn't dry up all the rain so you could sit around your house just getting old. Lucifer didn't teach you how to think so you could ring your own death knell. Oh, Lord is the King of Israel. Lord is the King of Israel. The bankers in their ivory towers just counting up your property and your tender. When Jesus saw what was happening in the temple, he flipped the tables of the money lenders. He didn't post on Facebook from his armchair that he was mad as hell. Oh, Lord is the King of Israel.